Coach, I know you kind of talked a little bit about last night, but as you look ahead of the road, kind of similar situation in terms of what we just did a couple of weeks here with some pretty good opposition and obviously a pretty significant trip for your team.
Yeah, and a key time of the year. I think all these road trips are magnified now because of what's on the line at the end of the day. And I think for our players, as much as you can look big picture, which we want them to do, we also want them to kind of narrow in the focus a little bit and just play in the moment. And that next moment for us is against Toronto. So a couple of the key things that we have to focus on is just the structure that we do a good job of, to trust it and then don't think about it. Just know you're going to be in the right spot and go and play the game, and that's what it's all about, so we can be a little bit more free than what we were last night.
Just playing on instinct a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, it's instinct, but it's also knowing that all through the year we've done a lot of work on our structure and how we play in as a team, and the guys have done a really good job with that. So just trust that you're going to do it right, and the guy sitting beside you is going to do it right, and then you can just go out and play.
Ryan, what went into the decision last night to do the hard match early on, Kadri versus their top line?
It wasn't so much of a hard match. I mean, that's really off of whistles, stuff like that. So Naz right now is our top centerman, and I feel he can handle extra minutes. Naz is a competitor, so when he is on the ice against top players like a McKinnon, for example, he raises his level as well. So that's the reason why we had him out there more often than another line.
And going back to, I mean, we talked about Jaeger last night, but when he's on his game, when he is playing the way he is last year, how does that change the complexion of the forward group and the options you have?
Well, it gives us another threat when he's on. So you kind of have to game plan against players that are goal scorers that are on the top of their game, because you know they're dangerous. So it adds a little bit of depth to our lineup. It adds a little bit of let's call it levels to our scoring, so it's not all reliant on Naz and Jonathan, and whether we can get contributions from the Frost line that we put together last night. It adds some depth, and that's something that's important for us, because somewhere along the line, one of our good players is going to go up against a 5-6 defenseman or against maybe a third or fourth line. So those are the guys that have to really accept that challenge and raise their level.
And you obviously need him to channel that form that got him 31 goals.
Sure we do. Like, he's a really good player, and we need him to contribute for us. So getting him to a spot where he knows and believes that he can do that every time he steps on the ice is really important for us, because when he's feeling good about himself, again, I go back to now we're a much more dangerous team because we have that depth, and our team most likely will be better because he's helping us generate.
Can I follow up on that just a little bit? Like, obviously last year he got 31 goals and the productivity hasn't been there. What's been the difference? Like, what's sort of been missing compared to what he was doing last year?
You know, last year at the beginning of the year, if you remember, he was a little bit like we're seeing from him right now, where he's kind of trying to find his way. So sometimes when a player is going through a tougher stretch, there's a tendency to overthink. There's a tendency to try at times a little bit too hard, and you get away from what makes you a good player. When he was at his very best last year, you noticed him skating a lot with the puck through the middle of the ice. When it was on his stick, it was almost like it was stuck on his stick. I think those are the little differences. So for him as a player, find 2 or 3 things that you do a really good job of and make sure you focus on those things. Don't worry about what happened yesterday or the day before. Just make sure that when you come to the rink on a day like today, you are getting better, and tomorrow when we or the next day when we get Toronto, you want to make sure that you're looking at that as this is a chance for me to be at my best and bring something to the table for our team.
Since the break, is this the best stretch of hockey for Martin Pospisil this season? Like, are you seeing the guy that was such an impact maker last year?
I would agree with you there, Pat. Like, even no matter where we put him over the last little while, he's been good. He's using his speed. I think he's been physical, but he's also holding pucks more, and he's generating some more opportunities and chances. So, you know, when you look at Marty, I remember way back when Sam Bennett was a younger player that was a little bit reckless like Marty was at times. Sam's really turned himself into a very good player. And that's something that we look at Marty, that it's a possibility that he can do that because he skates so well. He's got zero fear in his game, and he has the skill set that will allow him to do things like that.
I shouldn't make assumptions that Dan Vladar will get a start on this trip, but if he does, just with the way he stepped in on the last trip, how high is your level of confidence in his abilities right now?
As high as can be. I think Danny does an excellent job when called upon to be ready to play. He works hard practice days. I don't think there is a player that you can put at a different level than him in regards to his preparation and his practice. So when he gets his opportunity to play, I know he's ready to go.
Can you speak to the work that Adam Klapka's put in on his skating?
I think partly with Adam and his skating, one, confidence comes into play there. Two, strength. So he's matured, and now he's, even though he's a really big man, he's gone the other way as well, where he's gotten much stronger with his legs and his core and all that stuff that comes into play when you talk about skating. And because of that, he's now he's powerful. He's a big man, so I think that's helped him a lot. And the one thing he has done over the last couple of years is work on it. And if you want to become a better player, you have to put the time in to make sure that you're addressing some of the areas that might have been concerns before. And he's done a really good job with that.
With the way the schedule is sort of laid out on the road trip, is it safe to say we'll see both your netminders on this trip?
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, there's, like I said, we have confidence in both guys, so we go kind of one game at a time, just like we're asking the players to do.